live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Good evening. This is the National News Telecast. I'm Movin Hettiarachchi.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Sharifa Tahir. Let's take a look at the headlines.
A warning from Bangladesh interim government on closing media institutions. The president says line room occupants would be given the right to live in a village. A guarantee from Sajid regarding the success of the unsuccessful Hambantota projects under his government. Policy statement of the National People's Power to be unveiled on the 26th. Tomorrow is the World Elephant Day, a census of elephants to be held next week. The Sri Lankan cricket team leaves for England.
We now move on to those and other stories in detail. Bangladesh's newly formed interim government issued a stern warning to the country's media, stating that they will be shut down if they publish or broadcast any false or misleading news.
Meanwhile, Bangladesh is witnessing a fresh set of protests with the minority communities at the forefront. Home Affairs Advisor, retired Brigadier General Sakwat Hossain, said that the country deteriorates when media fail to report honestly. He has warned that the media outlets would face closure if they provide misleading news. He has further said that the media accurately reported the new events, the current situation involving the police might have been avoided. Meanwhile, Nahid Islam, advisor to the Post Telecommunications and Information Technology, said action will be taken against officials involved in the internet shutdown during the recent student protests. Syed Rafat Ahmed was sworn in as Bangladesh new Chief Justice today, a day after Abdul Hassan stepped down as the top judge following the ultimatum by protesters demanding a revamp of the judiciary. Hassan and 5 other judges of the Apex Appellate Division tendered their resignation yesterday, 5 days after the fall of Sheikh Hasina's regime amid massive street protests. The student government protesters earlier claimed that they would peacefully demonstrate until the demands are met. Accordingly, President Mohammad Shahbuddin yesterday appointed Justice Syed Rafat Ahmed as the 25th Chief Justice of Bangladesh. Bangladesh Bank Governor Abdul Rauf Talakur has been resigned, but his resignation has not been accepted given the importance of the position, according to Bangladesh Finance Ministry. Days earlier, 4 deputy governors were forced to resign after about 400 bank officials protested over the corruptions by top officials. The Vice Chancellor of Dhaka University, Maqsood Kamal, has also resigned. The university said the university has been epicenter of a deadly protest that escalated in July against quotas in the government jobs before morphing into an oust Hasina campaign. Former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has been sheltering in New Delhi since Monday following the uprising that killed about 300 people. Since her departure, the country has also seen an appointment of the new police chief as a part of the shake-up of the security top brass that also included new head of technical intelligence monitoring agency that changes among the senior army officials. The protesters are demanding an interim government to take up urgent steps for the security of Hindu and other minority communities. Yesterday, they put out an 8-point charter demands, which also included the establishment of a special tribunals to expedite trials for those who have persecuted minorities, compensation of victims, and immediate enactment of minority protection law. In the meantime, amid a fresh wave of protests in neighboring country, the Assam State Police in India is also in high alert among the India-Bangladesh border to ensure no persons enter the state illegally in the wave of the unrest in the neighboring country.
Commissioner General of Elections Saman Sri Ratnayake says police officials in every district will be educated on the presidential election. He made these remarks at a meeting in Hambantota yesterday. Enlightening of police officials in the Hambantota and Mathura districts relating to the upcoming presidential election was held at the Hambantota Administrative Complex. Senior DIG in charge of elections, Asanka Karavita, and other officials were also present at the discussion. Commissioner General of Elections Saman Sri Ratnayaka said that although the complaints had been identified as disputes, the problems were really not disputes in nature. He added that they have received more than 100 complaints and further stated that most of them were related to internal problems and transfers. The Commissioner General also said that there were no incidents of violence reported. Executive Director of PAFRL, Rohana Hettiarachchi, said that it has been observed commonly instances of candidates competing in search of personal benefits and going beyond declaring their political opinions regarding the presidential election. He added that they see this development as a clear misuse of democracy and freedom of the country. Rohana Hettiarachchi also said some groups appear to be taking part in the election campaign in search of acquiring portfolios such as ambassadors or corporation chairmen or to gain mere publicity. The PAFRL Executive Director also said that with the addition of a single candidate, they have to incur an additional expenditure of 200 million rupees. Such situation would create problems, especially in the printing of ballot papers. It also would become a considerable problem for those who are casting votes. Therefore, the practice of higher candidacy at the polls will have to be discouraged.
State Minister Ranjit Siyambalapitiya says that the Finance Ministry is ready to incur the necessary expenses in connection with the presidential election. He said upon participating in a program in Yatyanpota today that increasing number of candidates in the poll would not become an issue. State Minister Ranjit Siyambalapitiya said that they are in full readiness to provide funds for the estimated expenses presented. He also said that some money would be saved from the 10 billion rupees allocated. There is no immediate need for bear some of the expenditure. However, instant expenditure on police and printing will have to be made. The expenditure on officials' allowances will have to be made through Commission after the presentation of facts by the Commission. However, he added that the fair time needed for such presentation. The State Minister further said that the Ministry of Finance is ready to bear all election expenses.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe says that for the first time in the history of Sri Lanka, people occupying lined rooms will be accorded the opportunity to have the right to live in a village. He further says that in order to do so, the lease agreements of the lands of plantation companies where the lined rooms are located would be cancelled and such lands reacquired by the government. Addressing the Nuwara district business community during a meeting yesterday, the President emphasized that the government will grant rights to these individuals, assist them in building homes and also manage public areas like playgrounds. During the meeting, President Ranil Wickremesinghe was briefed on the challenges faced by local businesses and reviewed various proposals for regional development. A large group of people's representatives in the province also attended the occasion. President Ranil Wickremesinghe says that he came to Hatton for the first time in the 70th decade. He further said that Hatton and Nuwara in those days were not as developed as today. He has also recalled that those days only Tamil professionals were living in those areas. However, today majority of them are living outside of the plantations. Education has been developed and added that it was he who took charge of the estate schools. The President further said that he would grant outright ownership of their properties to estate communities. President Ranil Wickremesinghe also met with scholars and professionals from the Nuwara district. During the meeting, experts emphasized the importance of sustaining the country's economic recovery and highlighted the need to support President Wickremesinghe in the upcoming presidential election to ensure his victory. They stressed that it is the responsibility of everyone who loves the country. President Ranil Wickremesinghe says that voting rights were given to all citizens in the plantation who were deprived of the right for citizenship. As a result, Nuwara had become an area with the majority Tamil voter representation. He added that similar feat had never been recorded from any other country. The President has also recalled how he had inaugurated the estate fund along with Minister Thondaman during the regime of former President Premadasa. He added that he extended aid for the housing building program. The President further said that Sri Lankan citizenship rights were granted in the year 2003 for the local Tamils having Indian citizenship. President Wickremesinghe further said the entire upcountry Tamil society has been completely altered to create the new Tamil society in the highlands. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has also proposed the conducting of a seminar on the Tamil community in the upcountry, their problems and social development, as well as on social equality by the beginning of next year. He has called on to create a new society and to eliminate any of its shortcomings. The president also pointed out that he would create a social equality commission to discuss on these issues.
Leader of the Samagi Jana Balaweke and opposition leader Sajid Premadasa says that a government under his leadership would turn the unsuccessful projects in Hambantota district into successful ventures. He was addressing the Hambantota district public meeting. The public meetings have been organised on a district level under the theme Samagi Vihidum Balaganaya. Parliamentarian Dilip Vedarachi said that Sajid Premadasa was appointed as the opposition leader after serving the people in Hambantota district for 30 years. He added that, however, the government, including Namal Rajapaksa, had turned the country bankrupt. Parliamentarian Esala said that the 8th has recorded the beginning of Sri Lankan collective for all forces not belonging to party or family. He further said that all forces in the north, east, south and west have united, changing the political map of the country. Former Army Commander Mahesh Senanayake said that only they are able to create a discipline needed for the country. He added that their gallant soldiers hope to join the masses and go from village to village for 40 days to educate them all on the need of Sajid Premadasa as their leader. Parliamentarian Heshu Vithanage said that the 22nd of next month is the day innocent people will become victorious. He has called upon all village to give the strength to Sajid Premadasa and to make him victor of the poor. Opposition leader Sajid Premadasa said that they should become policy-oriented rather than relying upon individualism. The unscrupulous politicians should leave the field. He's added that many are criticizing the conference hall, airport, harbour and the stadium. They have become burden to the country. Sajid Premadasa added that it is difficult to turn some things towards productive value from what had it become a torment to the Hambantota people. He added that, however, he could give the pledge to turn these unsuccessful projects into successful projects through compilation of plans.
Former Minister Harin Fernando challenges Sajid Premadasa to appoint Hirunika Premachandra to the parliamentary portfolio in the national list, which fell vacant as a result of his exit from the parliament. He has raised this challenge at a ceremony in Badulla. Harin Fernando said that Sajid Premadasa is aware of the fact of how he had rendered a considerable amount of work on his behalf. He added that it was he who had organized 154 meetings for Premadasa. He has also recalled former President Gotabaya requesting Sajid Premadasa to take charge of the country. He added that the SJB leader had agreed first to do so and later on said no. Harin Fernando also said there was a reason for Sajid Premadasa to become fearful, as he found that he would be compelled to take strong decisions that would make him unpopular, and also that he wanted to get ready for an election. Harin Fernando has challenged Sajid Premadasa to hand over the nationalist MP post to Hirunika Premachandra. He has also questioned as to how a leader who is unable to take such a decision could become a leader of the country. Leader of the National People's Power, Anura Kumara Disanayake says that the policy statement of his party relating to the presidential election will be unveiled on the 26th of this month. He was addressing a public meeting in Ambalipitia yesterday. The meeting, organized under the theme Punarudayata Ratama Ekata, was attended by large groups including leaders of the NPP. Parliamentarian Harini Amarasuriya said that Olympics is being conducted in Paris these days. There are events such as long jump and hurdles in the games. She added that if the local parliamentarians went to the Olympics, they could also receive Olympic medals by making huge jumps. That was the reason that the people had become poor and the politicians had become richer after 76 years. There's a huge disparity between the rich and the poor. There's also a huge gap between public representatives and the people. Harini Amarasuriya further said that September 21st is the date that these disparities would be changed. Secretary of the Janata Vimukti Peramuna, Tilvin Silva, said that if there are responsible persons dedicated towards building the country in any given field, they are now in the NPP camp. He further said that they are ready to change the economy of feeding by taking loans and also to change the tax policies. Tilvin Silva further said that an economy based on production will be created. Leader of the National People's Power, Anurukumara Dissanayake, said that Sajith Premadasa is saying he is going to punish thieves. He added that, however, people such as Kiriyala and Nalaka Godaheva are behind him. The NPP leader has further recorded a statement made by Dallas Alaperuma regarding Sajith Premadasa. He also said that they are now talking about policies identified by themselves, which were not the policies of the NPP. Anurukumara Dissanayake further said that they keep saying if an NPP government comes to power, they would take revenge and create clashes. He added that the best reply to these accusations is the NPP election manifesto, which will be declared on the 26th of this month.
Parliamentarian of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, Sudarshini Pranandapulle, has decided to extend support to the opposition leader Sajith Premadasa at the upcoming presidential election. She has called on Sajith Premadasa to express support this morning. The meeting took place at the opposition leader's office. Mrs. Pranandapulle, who had entered Parliament at the 2020 general election representing SLPP, had also functioned as the State Minister of Primary Health Services, Infectious Diseases and COVID Management in the previous government. Parliamentarian of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, Sudarshini Pranandapulle, said that when considering the different groups that have become forward for the presidential election, they find a leadership with experience and ability to work with the country only in the group with Sajith Premadasa's SHJB. The parliamentarian further said that she believes Sajith Premadasa and his group are able to provide the necessary leadership to create a change anticipated.
All election committee organisers of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, the United National Party and the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna in the Hambantota district have arrived at common consensus to dedicate themselves for the victory of President Ranil Wickremesinghe at the forthcoming presidential election. They have reached this agreement at a discussion presided over by Minister Mahinda Amaravira yesterday. The meeting was attended by representatives of 576 organising committees of the SLFP, UNP and the SLPP and Deputy Speaker Ajith Rajapaksa. Minister Mahinda Amaravira said that meeting of rural leaders in 576 divisions has been completed. They were confronted with the problems of taking a new decision. Amaravira further said that they have never voted for Ranil Wickremesinghe and this is the first time to do so. It has also been decided at a Trincomalee District Committee meeting of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna today to extend the support of all members for the victory of President Ranil Wickremesinghe at the presidential election. Trincomalee District SLPP parliamentarian Kapilatu Korala and Kaigal District former SLPP parliamentarian Sandeep Samarasinghe and local government representatives and party activists of the SLPP, SLFP and UNP have also participated in the meeting. Measures have been taken to set up joint presidential steering committees covering all electorates in the Gampaha district for the victory of President Ranil Wickremesinghe. These measures have been taken under the direction of Minister Prasanna Ranatunga and SLPP parliamentarians representing the Gampaha district. The joint committees are being represented on the electorate level by members of all parties including the SLPP, the UNP, Mahajana Eksat Peramuna and Samagijana Balavegia who extend support to the President.
Minister Ramesh Pathiran says that more extensive opportunity has been created to Ranil Wickremesinghe to win the upcoming presidential election. He further points out that as water to a fish, people are unable to walk ahead without the assistance of politicians. Minister adds that the correct people's verdict will be delivered at the forthcoming poll. Minister Ramesh Pathiran has made these observations at a meeting held in Mitiagoda yesterday to extend support to the President of the United National Party, Vajra Abeyewardena, and former parliamentarian Nishantha Hettigama have also attended the event. Minister Ramesh Patirana said it is the responsibility of every citizen to carry forward the country another 5 years and added that they are now fulfilling their responsibility. He also said the verdict relies on the verdict of the people. The minister also said he has confidence that the final competition of the election would be between two candidates. He also said that many groups and parties are scheduled to form an alliance with their candidate on the 16th. He added that the candidate has the support of all ethnic groups. President of the National Party, Vajirabhayawardena, said that they will join hands and work according to a target. This is the only exercise targeting the well-being of the country, nothing else. The leader is needed to govern the country. When looking at such a leader, there is no one suitable other than President Ranil Wickremesinghe. Vajirabhayawardena further said that the people have already decided in silence whom they should work. They have decided to vote for President Ranil Wickremesinghe.
Former Sports Minister Roshan Ranasinghe says that he will contest the presidential election. He had made the announcement at a ceremony at the Foundation Institute today. Former Chief Justice Sarath N. Silva was also present at the occasion. Former Sports Minister Roshan Ranasinghe said that he is confident more than 7.5 million voters would extend him support, disregarding differences based on party and colours. He also said that the people would stand with him to protect the country and said that he will contest the 2024 presidential election.
Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawarthana says that 5 laws will be passed in Parliament regarding how the country should be governed. He made these observations at a public meeting in Godagama in Homagama. A group that had extended support to Podujana Peramana in the last election in Homagama electorate and a group of members of the SLFP and MEP have agreed to extend support to President Ranil Wickremesinghe at the forthcoming presidential election. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawarthana said that everything has been realized as a result of international confidence acquired through the extended loan agreements with the IMF. This was an agreement reached on behalf of the country. The minister added that if one clause of the agreement is breached, the country is unable to go forward for a long period, despite whoever is in charge of the country. Minister Gunawarthana also said that whoever becomes president would be prepared for the budget of 2025 using all available resources. He also said President Ranil has prepared a program to maintain the administration without future plans.
The annual Maha Satyakriya and Adhisthana Puja seek to receive the blessings of Mahasangha for the protection of the unitary nature, territorial integrity and sovereignty of motherland was held at the Katharagama Kirivara sacred site yesterday. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena presided over the event. The aim of the meritorious ceremony has been extended blessings to the Sambuddha Sasana, motherland and all citizens of Sri Lanka. The Mahasangha, headed by Chancellor of the Colombo University and Chief Sangha Nayaka of the Western Province, Venerable Muruthettuwe Anandathera, Chief Incumbent of the Abhinavaramaya and Chief Adhikarana Sangha Nayaka of Ruhunu Magampattuwa, Venerable Kapugama Saranathisathera and former Speaker Chalam Rajpaksha were also present at the occasion. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena said that the series of meritorious activities conducted around the sacred area were extended throughout the country with the intention of protecting the motherland.
The Prime Ministerial Media Division informs that the media reports under the heading "A Complaint to Mako regarding the Satyakriya and Adhisthana Puja in front of Kirivara" was false. The event was conducted to extend blessings for the unity, territorial integrity and sovereignty of the motherland and was held for the 30th occasion. The Prime Minister's Media Division further says no government official was invited for the event.
The second Kumbal Perehra of the Kandy Esala festival is now parading the streets.
The pageant has commenced for its journey at the auspicious time of 7:27 p.m. facing the southern direction. The second Kumbal Perehara of the Kandy Esala festival has paraded the street last night. The majestic tusker Indiraja of the Sri Dalda Maligawa carried the sacred casket of relics accompanied by majestic elephants Kote Raja and Mian Raja. The first Kumbal Perehara has also included 40 elephants and more than 20 dance troops. The large number of foreign and local tourists were lining up the street towards the Perehara. 5 Kumbal Peraharas are scheduled to parade the streets until the 14th of this month. The first Randoli Perahara is scheduled to take place on the 15th and the final Randoli Perahara is to be conducted on the 19th. Heavy security arrangements have also been enforced for Kandy Esala festival.
Basnayaka Nilames of the Devalayas say that the number of elephants for the Sivu Mahadevala Peraharas of the Kandy Esala festival are inadequate. They point out that as a result, a situation has arisen where they are unable to conduct the Peraharas. The number of tamed elephants has been restricted to 96 and a majority of them have exceeded the age of 50 years. Another 20 elephants are unable to take part due to health reasons. The Ratnapura Maha Samandevala Perahara, which also deploys a large number of elephants, also coincides with the Dalada Perahara. Therefore, they say they are finding it difficult to conduct the Peraharas of the Sivu Maha Devalayas. Well, that's it on local stories. We'll be back with news overseas.
Kamuda machang, prima kotumi, fun.
Moving on to news overseas now, an Israeli airstrike on a Gaza City school compound housing displaced Palestinian families killed around 100 people, and Israel said the toll was inflated and 19 militants were among the dead. The Al-Tabayin school was sheltering many displaced people who were performing the dawn prayer when attacked, causing a large number of casualties. The Al-Tabayin bombing is the sixth attack on a school this week. The strike has been criticized by Western powers as well as regional countries, which have said it shows Israel has no desire to reach a ceasefire or end the Gaza war. Israel has attacked several such shelters in Gaza in the past few weeks. According to the United Nations, 477 out of 564 school buildings in Gaza had been directly hit or damaged.
President Volodymyr Zelensky has confirmed for the first time that the Ukraine military is conducting cross-border offensive inside the Russian western coast region. Meanwhile, Russia has vowed to deliver a tough response to Ukrainian attacks. Kiev launched a surprise attack recently and had advanced more than 10 kilometers inside Russia. Russia has indicated that 76,000 people have been evacuated from the border areas in the Kursk region. This is the deepest raid into the country since Moscow began its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. 13 people have been injured in the Ukrainian attack on Russia's Kursk region, with 2 in critical condition. The incident has occurred when a missile intercepted by Russian defense system fell on a residential building, triggering a fire.
Thousands of anti-racism protesters rallied in towns and cities across the country yesterday. People took to the streets in cities including Belfast, Birmingham, Cardiff, Glasgow and London. It follows a week of violent disorder, including attacks on hotels housing asylum seekers, and the looting of shops, which was fueled by a false rumor that the Southport triple murdered suspect was a Muslim asylum seeker. The police have so far arrested 779 people in connection with rioting, with 349 of those charged in Cardiff, Birmingham, Norwich, Penzance, Southampton, Shrewsbury, Carlisle, Hastings, Cambridge and Devon. Hundreds of anti-racism protesters gathered yesterday. In London, about 5,000 people marched on Whitehall in support of refugees. Also, hundreds of anti-racism protesters gathered in Newcastle, while a small number of anti-immigrant protesters amassed in a nearby area.
The Huanggoushi waterfall in the southwest China's Guizhou province has fascinated tourists with its spectacular daytime and nighttime views during peak viewing season. Standing at 77.8 meters tall and 101 meters wide, the Huanggoushi waterfall is one of the largest waterfalls in Asia. The waterfall has witnessed one high water flow this year during the summer flood season. In the daytime, the cascading and powerful waterfall offers tourists magnificent views and pleasant climate for the summer getaway. In the nighttime, the panoramic light show combining light, sound and visual effects would be staged at the waterfall, providing tourists with immersive visual feast and a magic sensation that is different from a daytime experience.
Two giant pandas, Oyun and Heffing, celebrated their birthdays recently, with scores of tourists expressing well wishes on their special day. Giant panda Oyun, who has lived in the Shenongija National Park in central China's Hubei province for 8 years, celebrated its 16th birthday. Caretakers unveiled a birthday cake made of Oyun's favorite treats, including steamed buns, carrots, apples and fresh bamboo leaves. Born in 2008, Oyun, whose name means Olympics, was named in honor of the Beijing Summer Games.
Prima Kutumi.
We move on to sports news now. The Sri Lanka team taking part in a test series with England has left the island today.
Several players, including captain Dhananjaya De Silva, have already left for England. Interim head coach Sanat Jayasuriya said that the England tour is his final tour in the capacity of an interim coach. He added that their hope is to play well. He also pointed out that one-day tournaments are the commitment of cricketers was essential. Sanat Jayasuriya further said that many spectators are extending their good support for the players.
කොළඹදී ආප්‍රස් ක්‍රීඩාංගණයේ විවිධ මාධ්‍ය සාකච්ඡාවකදී කිව්වේ මේ ළමයින්ට తాවකාලික පසුබෑමක් තියෙන්නේ. ඉතින් මේ ළමයින්ට උදව් කරන්න එන්න කියන එක තමයි මම කිව්වේ. ඉතින් ඇත්තටම අපේ ප්‍රේක්ෂකයෝ ආව එකට ගොඩාක් ස්තුතියි. ඇවිල්ලා දීපු සහායයට. ඉතින් මම හිතනවා මේ ඉදිරියෙන් ගලන් සංචාරයේ අපි වෙනත් රටක හිටියත් අපි ඒ කරන දේ ගැන මම හිතනවා අපේ ප්‍රේක්ෂකයෝ අපිට සියලුම ශක්තිය දීලා අපිට මේ විදිහටම ඉවර කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙයි කියන එක තමයි මම හිතන්නේ.
The Sri Lankan England tour includes 3 test matches. The first test match will be played in Manchester from the 21st to the 25th. The tournament comes to an end on the 6th of September.
The first ever Esports World Cup is underway in the Saudi Arabian capital Riyadh. The event has drawn the world's top gamers to compete across 22 tournaments for a staggering $60 million prize pool. The coveted Esports World Cup awaits the triumphant team at the conclusion of the competition, with Team Falcon of Saudi Arabia currently leading the pack, closely followed by the Gladiators and other contenders. Over the next 2 months, teams will amass points and the ultimate victor with the highest score will claim the World Cup, featuring 22 tournaments spanning with 2-month-long competition. Popular games such as Fortnite, EA Sports and Street Fighter are captivating millions of fans worldwide. In the first 4 weeks of the Cup, a record 177.5 million viewing hours have been clocked. On-site visitors have already reached 1 million. The games are being followed by 3.4 billion gamers worldwide. The final weeks promise to be even more intense.
Prima Kutumi. Fantamai.
That's it for tonight's English News telecast. Thank you for joining us. Good night.
Good night.